Hi, this is Stacy with Lily Bean Crafts by Stacy. Welcome back. And if it's your first time, thanks for stopping by. I've been getting asked a lot exactly how I make the soap dispenser mason jars, so I'm going to show you step by step how I do it. I'm starting off with a 16-ounce smooth mason jar that I got from Amazon, and I do have it linked in my description. I am taking a 220 grit piece of sandpaper, sanding it down lightly, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean that off with some Dawn dish soap. And then now I am showing you how I just have these little football foam inserts that I have for my old spinners. And I just went ahead and I put some painter's tape and glued it on, took it outside, and for this particular one I spray painted it with Skinny Dip from Color Shot Spray Paints. And I am going to be doing a chunky mix with this one. I'm going to be using Farmer's Market from Rae Creations. So I'm just taking my glitter glue and one of the little paintbrushes that I got from the dollar store and fully coated it and made sure all my lines were straight. And now I'm just going to go ahead and cover it up with this chunky mix that I got. It's such a pretty color. I wanted to make sure that I did something fun with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean this off, and I'm going to take some parchment paper and just pat it down just to make sure that all of the chunky bits are a little bit flatter to make it easier when I get my epoxy coats on here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side for 4 hours and let it completely dry. And then I'm going to take that same brush and I'm going in with another coat of my glitter glue. Once again, I always like to seal it, but with a chunky glitter, I want to make sure that I have it all pushed down as much as possible, always making it a little bit easier when we do the epoxy coat. And for this tutorial, I decided to make a second tumbler. I'm going to be doing another one using fine glitters with this one. So I did the same method, and I have just a white matte spray paint on here. I'm going in with my glitter glue, and I am going to be getting that all smoothed out, making sure my lines are straight on here. And then I'm going to be using Glisten, which is a beautiful white sparkly mix from Rae Creations. And I'm going to go ahead and apply this to the entire tumbler. Put it off to the side, and instead of doing the glitter glue method with this one, when it was dry, I did go in and just use some spray sealant, some matte spray sealant that I get from Color Shot Spray Paints. And now I'm going in with my first coats of epoxy. I am going to be applying about 15 mLs to each tumbler, getting it fully coated, popping all of the bubbles, and then letting it spin for about 2 hours. And then I'm going to go in with another 10 mLs of my Flynn Sisters Fast Set Epoxy, letting that dry completely. And then we are going to start working with the UV DTF. And one thing I did want to show you really quickly is once I had all of the epoxy on there, I am going to take this painter's tape off. I want to make sure that I have this off of here before the tape can dry and stick permanently to the tumbler. And now I'm going to show you on each of them how I start cutting my UV DTF. These little mason jars are not that big, so you don't have a lot of room to work with. So with all of the designs that I do, I have to cut it up. There's like really nothing that I've done so far that hasn't needed a little bit work on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim this so I can have the wording to go on the front of it. And once I have that ready, I will go ahead and get that applied. This is a UV DTF, so you only have one shot with this. Once it's on, it is permanently placed. So you want to be extremely careful and make sure that you're putting it exactly where you want it to be. If you're a little bit nervous about applying decals to any surface, then you might want to start off with just a white decal versus going with a UV DTF. So I did peel off the back of this, I applied it on there, pressed it all down, made sure that it was on there correctly, and now I'm just going to go ahead and carefully remove the carrier sheet. You want to be careful because every once in a while it will pull up some of your UV DTF and then it will be ruined. Once I have that applied, I'm going to go ahead and just start cutting out some of the other florals that I'm applying to this, and then I will start working on the other one. And with both of the dispensers that I'm showing here, I used UV DTFs that I got from Gracefully Created. I will go ahead and link them in the description for you. This one here was just this absolutely beautiful Christmas one. And then the other one that I'm doing for the chunky is a fall one, pumpkins. I just wanted to show some variety of what you can do with these different dispensers. You're kind of limitless. I am starting off by just showing in this how-to, working very basically, not doing anything really difficult. I wanted to make it as easy as possible, and there are so many things that you can do with it. I will be making more tutorials showing a lot more intricate designs, but with this one here, I just went ahead and did the same thing as the last one. I just kind of cut the pumpkins and the stars and the dots and just started sporadically placing them. No rhyme or reason. The nice thing is that with this being a soap dispenser, it can kind of not have a front or a back to it. It can just kind of be seating right wherever you're going to be placing it. And I'm just going to kind of show you how I placed all of these. Now that I have all of the UV DTFs applied, I'm just going to go ahead and get my final coats of epoxy on here. It's going to take 2 more coats. I'm going to do 10 mLs of my fast set epoxy for this first coat. Make sure that I have it completely covered, pop any bubbles, let it spin for 4 hours. I'm going to then sand it, and go in with another 10 mLs of my Flynn Sisters Artist Cure resin. That is what is going to bring on that amazing shine. I definitely recommend getting this particular epoxy. And once I have it applied, I am going to let this spin for 8 to 10 hours. And then while that's spinning, I'm going to go ahead and put together the actual dispensers and have them all ready to go. So just make sure that you pop those bubbles, and once again, remove that tape. It's super important to make your life a little bit easier. Then I'm going to go ahead and start working on the dispensers. And I just wanted to show you two of the different dispensers that I'm using. This first one is a black one. It is a sturdy plastic, and it just has a little screw top on it. So you just need to screw the two pieces together, apply the stick that the soap will go into. You can trim that up if you need to. It's a little bit longer. And I'm just going to go ahead and just screw it right on to the mason jar. And that one is done. The other one is a foaming one. This is a little bit different of a way of installing it. You want to make sure that you screw this in really good. The cap on this one is metal, and the dispenser itself is plastic. Once you have that screwed in, apply this stick. This one here actually fits it perfectly. I like this one a little bit better. It's a little bit better quality. Screw that in, and they are both ready. And here is the finished product on both of them. They both turned out so pretty. I love seeing the fall, but I'm also ready for Christmas. It's just kind of like where my head is at right now. And if you like this tutorial, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see everybody again next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.